I'll be honest, my emotions right now are all over the place and very confused, and I know I'm not alone. On the one hand, President Trump did what no other U.S. president ever had the courage to do. He led a direct American strike on Iran's nuclear facilities, standing with Israel in action, not just in words. And for that, we are totally grateful. But what happened next? That's what has so many of us stunned, angry, and trying to make sense of the bigger picture of what's going on. Last night, President Trump announced a ceasefire to what he's now calling the 12-day war between Israel and Iran, even though, again, Iran started this on October 7th, but okay. And then Trump ordered Israel not to retaliate after Iran broke the ceasefire this morning. So first of all, it's important to understand, this is not the end of the war. It's a pause. It's a ceasefire. It's a fragile one and already broken. And even if President Trump doesn't want us to retaliate, well, this is not the end. So what just happened? Let's break it down. First, militarily, Israel just won this battle against Iran, hands down, a total knockout. We devastated Iran's nuclear facilities, crippled their ballistic missile production capabilities, and achieved complete air superiority 2,000 kilometers from Israel without sending a single ground troop. That's history, that's power, and with all of our pilots miraculously returning home day after day, that is divine. Our pilots struck regime targets all over Iran, even up to the eastern borders, and everything in between. We eliminated thousands of IRGC and secret police Bashji thugs, dismantled their terror infrastructure, and took out top nuclear scientists. Iran's ability to threaten Israel has been set back years. And let's not forget, we were not alone. President Trump led the United States into this fight together with us. American B-2 bombers flew with us. Israel coordinated, Israel executed, Israel paved the way for the U.S. Air Force B-2 bombers, and together we stunned the world. But we also must be honest. The way this ceasefire was rolled out leaves a very bitter taste in our mouths. Last night, Trump proudly announced the ceasefire. He claimed victory, took a victory lap, and claims that there will be peace between our two countries. No. But it's what happened next. Iran, the Islamic Republic of Iran, after the ceasefire announcement, spat in Trump's face. This is not a regime looking for a diplomatic solution. This is an Islamic theocracy obsessed with destruction of Israel, of America, of anyone who stands in the way of their 1,400 plus year religious jihadi ideology. So while on the ground here in Israel, reality hit us like a missile. Literally, because after Trump announced at midnight that the ceasefire would kick in 7 hours later, meaning 7 a.m. Israel time, my family and Israelis all over the country had to run to our bomb shelters 3 separate times as Iran kept on firing ballistic missiles at us. First at 3 a.m., Israel struck deep in Iran, eliminating hundreds of Iranian regime forces. Then at 5:30 a.m., Iran launched a barrage of missiles, murdering 4 Israeli civilians in Beersheba. Then again at 7:06 a.m., 7 minutes after Trump's ceasefire was supposed to be put into implementation, Iran launched another missile attack on Israel. And then again at 10:25 a.m., after the ceasefire was in effect, Iran fired more missiles into Israel. So let's be clear. Iran violated the ceasefire a number of times and blatantly, hence spitting in Trump's face. Now, Israel responded briefly by destroying a radar installation near Tehran, but then we stopped, even though we had a much bigger retaliation attack planned. Why did we stop after that one little pinpoint attack? Because Prime Minister Netanyahu spoke with President Trump, who had just gone public scolding Israel, blaming both Iran and Israel, and chastising us for sending planes in the air to defend ourselves against the Iranian rocket attack that broke the ceasefire that miraculously didn't do any damage. Trump was wrong to pressure us not to retaliate. That is the wrong thing to do against an irrational, religious, genocidal enemy. Trump was wrong to equate Iranian missile attacks breaking the ceasefire with Israel's self-defense in taking out their abilities to kill us and shoot missiles at us. But if you think that's the end of the story, I want to go even deeper, because here's the part that's really hard to process. We've seen this before. In this whole military operation against the Islamic Republic of Iran, President Trump and Prime Minister Netanyahu were fully coordinated with strategic deception. They have been saying one thing publicly, sometimes even criticizing each other, only to shock the world days later with perfectly synchronized actions. Just weeks ago, headlines were flooded with reports about growing tension between President Trump and Prime Minister Netanyahu. Then, boom, a historic joint U.S.-Israel strike on Iran's nuclear program. They fooled everyone. So the question is, are we being fooled again with this ceasefire, but for the right reasons? Is Trump's public rebuke of Israel as well as Iran a cover for something else? Is this a pause in fire or the calm before the next blow? We don't know. Not yet. But this is what we do know. The Islamic Republic of Iran is still standing. That regime still stands. They're still firing missiles at Israel, even in this ceasefire. They will return to try to enrich uranium no matter what they promise President Trump. They know that if they remain in power, that they will outlive the Trump administration to finish what they started to destroy Israel, America, and the whole freedom-loving world. Because this war was never about revenge. This is a war about our survival for Israel, for the Jewish people, and for the entire freedom-loving world. Because yes, Israel is the front line of the freedom-loving world. We are not safe until the Islamic regime of Iran is gone. No ceasefire will change that. No agreement, no delay, no illusion of peace. And we in Israel cannot return to life as normal. Not when our kids are still at home instead of school, not with the threat of Iranian missiles still existing, not while Iran's jihadi ideology remains in power in Iran. But despite it all, the fear, the frustration, the politics, we see something else unfolding, and I can't repeat this enough. We see God's hand. Even Prime Minister Netanyahu, a leader not known for religious rhetoric, recently said the largest faction in the Knesset, Israel's parliament today, is Siyata Dishmaya, God's help. And he's right. We've been witnessing open miracles. We're watching a broken, divided nation find its faith, its voice, its strength in the harshest of conditions. Hashem oz la'amo yitain, Hashem yivarech et amo v'shalom. God gives strength to his people. God blesses his people with peace. And we have risen to the occasion with strength. Yes, we lost 28 holy souls in this battle with Iran over the past week. Each one is a world in and of itself, but IDF intelligence predicted thousands of dead. The scope, scale, and outcome of this war with Iran, with so few casualties on our side, according to the predictions, is a miracle, a blessing, a wake-up call. So now what? That's the question on everyone's mind. This is not the end. This is another chapter of this book. Iran's nuclear program is in ruins for now. Iran's missile sites are shattered for now. But the Islamic regime of Iran is still standing. And if history teaches us anything, it's that they will regroup. They'll turn back to their terror proxies, build them up again, go to cyber warfare, covert operations, and endless deception. They're not finished. And neither are we, because we're awake. Regime change in Iran, led by the Iranian people themselves, is the only true long-term solution to end that evil emanating from the Islamic Republic of Iran. We're already seeing signs. The Iranian crown prince has declared he's leading a revolution. We'll see if that happens. And then there are the minorities of Iran, like the Kurds, the Balochs, and the Azeris, who can all secede from Iran and set up their own independent states, no longer to be persecuted by the Islamic regime. Could this 12-day war be the spark to all of those things? Only God knows, and we're going to find out. Where do we go from here? We continue with purpose, with strength, with clarity, and with faith. And we return to finish the job in Gaza, to dismantle our Islamo-Nazi enemies there, to bring every hostage home, and to implement Trump's plan for voluntary Arab immigration, and we implement full Jewish sovereignty and make Gaza Jewish again by resettling Gaza. And it's time to also apply sovereignty to all of Judea and Samaria. It's time to declare once and for all, never again means never again, and it's us standing up for truth, justice, morality, and ensuring our enemies know they can never get away with trying to kill us again. And while we're at it, don't be surprised when more Sunni countries join in the Abraham Accords. Iran's defeat weakens the Muslim Brotherhood. Right? Islam is no longer just the startup nation. We are the regional superpower. So yes, the Muslim Brotherhood is still going to remain and threaten us, but Sunni countries are going to join us. And finally, we want to thank our soldiers. Thank President Trump for having our back. Thank Prime Minister Netanyahu for leading us through fire. But above all, we thank Hashem, God above. Because while the missiles fall, while the politics rage, and while the world watches, we know who's really in charge. This isn't just a war. This is a moment of destiny, and I can't get that point across enough. And we're blessed to be living it even with all the pain and confusion. So everyone, strengthen your faith in the one above. If you're a Jew, come home and join us here where we're making history, we're writing history books. And Isreal Chai. If you are not yet a subscriber to our daily, belief-based, inspiring, politically incorrect, truthful videos about Israel, the Jewish people, and the freedom-loving world, what are you waiting for? Go to pulsevisual.com and click to subscribe today. And yes, we are a donor-based operation. We need your donations for support in order to make these videos and get our videos seen and do all the work we do. So every once in a while, whether a large donation or a small donation, just go to pulsevisual.com and click on the donate button. Shalom, everyone, and thanks for watching.
Pulse of Israel, frontline videos from the Holy Land. Support our work by donating today. Pulse of Israel, frontline videos from the Holy Land. Support our work by donating today.